welcome to episode 40 on my homebrew journey. Right, so today, this is my second consecutive brew day, because yesterday I did my pale Vienna something or other lager, and it's upstairs in that brewery, and it's doing lovely. Bang on 19 degrees, Inkbirds, got it sorted, heat belt's fine, lovely jubbly. So what I'm going to do today is another batch of my Odinson. So this is Odinson version 6, and episode 40, so, you know, why not celebrate? So I'm brewing this for a mate of mine who's a magnificent gentleman, and he really likes it. But the one thing I've not got is any Marisota, so I'm going to have to sort of improvise a little bit. But I've got all my grains out. You can see all my grains there. I've even got some in there and all. What I'm going to do is, the main body of it was 800 grams of Marisota. But what I'm going to do is going to use 400 grams of Pilsner malt. And then just to give it a bit of richness, I'm going to give 200 grams of Vienna malt and 200 grams of wheat malt, because I'm absolutely convinced that the wheat malt helps with the head, which I was proper happy with my white IPA and my Weissbier, my Boozerscher, my Hungarian name thing. So that's 800 grams. So let's go through again. 400 Pilsner, 200 Vienna, 200 wheat malt. And then I'm going to go 75 Crystal 60, 75 Crystal 150, and then I'm going to go 75 Crystal 250 and 100 grams of pale chocolate malt. And eventually I'll use 9 litres of water, but I'm going to do today 7.5 litres of water to mash, and then I'm going to sparge a little bit with kettle's worth, because my kettle's about 1.5 litres, so it's got a temperature thing on it, so I'll get it to sort of 75, 80 degrees, and I'll use a kettle's worth of water to sparge on it. And then, what have I got? I've got some Challenger hops. I'm not sure how much I'm going to use yet. I'll get back to you on that. So there's nothing here, is there, that says hops in any way? No. So I'm going to use some Challenger, but I'm not sure how much, because I might just use a little bit more, and I might use a little bit further in the boil than usual. And then I'm just going to USO5 it, because a nice clean neutral yeast, a little bit of Vake as well, just to help clear it up, and that should be absolutely spot on. So before we get mashing in, let's have a look at some of the grains. Okay, so here is the main body of my beer. This is the standard Pilsner malt. You can see how pale that is. That's pretty finely crushed. This is my Vienna malt. There's wheat malt underneath there, which is a little bit darker, but that has got a definite sort of gold. It's definitely darker than that, definitely more yellow than the Pilsner. So there's a little bit of darkness there. So there's one layer of colour. And so here is the other grains. And so this is 60, 150, 240, and pale chocolate, which is about 525. Now, between the 60 and the 150, there's just seems to be a little bit more. This is the 150, and there's just a few more black specks in it, a bit darker. And the colour of the ball isn't helping, but the 60, there's much less black in it and dark browns than in the 150. But you can see there's a big jump between the 150 and the 250 there. There's a lot more in it, and then the jump to the pale chocolate there. Well, that pale chocolate is just, you know, colour of pale chocolate, isn't it? Smell wise, I'll just take this. They all smell really nutty. And that doesn't smell very much of anything really, but that 60 smells really nutty. And that smells really nutty as well. And the chocolate one tastes roasty. So what I'm hoping to get out of all these grains, I'm going to put some oatmeal in as well, some flaked oats, is sort of build up the flavour rather than dumping in. I did do some with like 250 that and 250 that, and whilst my mate liked it, it wasn't fantastic. Well, not to my palate anyway. But this, building up the flavour like this with little bits and messing around a little bit with the hops, makes a huge difference. So hopefully we'll get a nice beer out of it. So let's get the old mash going. Okay, so we've got about 20 minutes to go. I'm at 64 degrees, and I'm going to put the old pump on. So valve open, valve slightly open, liquid coming through, no leak, pump on. And we'll just have it run gently. I'll put some heat on as well. Rock on. Okay, so we've rinsed off our grains, and we are left with just under 7.5 litres. Just under, not by much. And our pre-boil, which should be 10:38ish, is very exciting. This, isn't it? Very exciting. It is 10:34, but I'm not fussed about that. Not too fussed. So that's just time to get her on the boil and get me Challenger hops in at 60 minutes. Just whilst we're waiting for it to come to a boil, here's something appropriate that I've found in the fridge. This is Kinniger Yanarodi Porter, whatever that is. It's got a kangaroo on it, so I'm thinking it's Australian. Kangaroo on a tractor, which is good. Kinniger, we pair brewing tradition with a contemporary sense of adventure to produce clean, crisp, full-flavoured beers. Oh, it's Rathmullen in County Donegal, so it's Irish. Why have they got a kangaroo on a tractor on it? Anyway, alright. This is a porter, so this is the kind of style I'm drinking tonight, brewing tonight. It's super dark, as it would be, and really nicely carbonated, as a professional beer would be, and fills my glass, more or less, perfectly. And whoa! Oh my lord! Oh! Cool, blimey! That's like liquid chocolate. Liquid bitter chocolate. Oh, that's good cold and all. Wow. Is it clear? No, not very clear. But you know what? Woof. Kinniger Porter. I don't know who they are. I got it in a box. I don't know where you can buy it, but yeah, Kinniger Porter. Okay, we're at the boiling point now. It's starting to bubble over. But, that's no bother. Stir that in. Okay, and we'll put on my hanging device. There it is. And in go the hops. 10 grams of Challenger hops for 1 hour. Starting now. Yay! Right, so she's cooled down, and what I've done is I've given her a bit of a whirlpool and spun around a bit, so hopefully all the protein and all the nonsense will settle out. But what I've also done is I've raised the outlet port here a little bit by putting a pair of tongs underneath it, so it's lifted the bottom up. So all the rubbish, shut up, will sit at the back of the kettle there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to siphon off the top. Hopefully I'll get a quieter cat, and hopefully I'll get her up to there on the old demijohn. And if I don't, whatever's left in here, hopefully I can very, very gently let it run off. I'll put a funnel on, and I'll very gently let it run off. Just quickly, let's have a see what the old final gravity was after an hour's worth of a boil. We're at 10:47, which ain't too bad, you know. I think 10:51 was what it was, wasn't it? I've lost my brewer's friend thing. I'm not going to put it back in the computer again. But that's not too bad, you know. I'm quite happy with that. That's getting on for 70% efficiency from a recirculation and a brew in a bag with a little bit of a sparge from kettle. Not bad at all. So I'm going to let it sit for half an hour and then I'll come back for the final spiel. Okay, so last minute I've decided I'm not going to siphon. I'm going to see how this angled bit, because I think all the rubbish is going to be down this bottom end. So if I open this very, very gently, I think that I'll get a nice clean wort coming through. So let's see how it goes. I'm going to open this really gently. And I'll just let it run like that. That looks clear for now. So right, there we go. That's not actually too bad. There's quite a lot left in there, but I did have to siphon it because that's quite high. But I put the siphon right at the very edge of the pot, and all the rubbish is down the other end in the corner. So I might use that trick again. Just tilt the boil kettle and siphon from the high end. That's good. I like that. I like it a lot. So I've got about 4 litres there, and I'm happy with that. I'll get me 7 or 8 bottles, which will keep my friend happy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pitch about a third of that. Well, a bit more maybe. There we go. And then put a pinch of my Kveik yeast in, and all I need to do then is give it a good shake. Stick her upstairs in that there brewery. No technology to keep her warm though, but it's about 19 degrees at the minute according to Inkbird, which I've just had a look at. And there we go. There's a bit of a stouty portery kind of beer, and hopefully if it tastes anything like that beer that I had out of the can before, I'll be right happy. So there we go, OG of 1045, which isn't too bad, about 68% efficiency I reckon. So that's it for now, and as always you can like and subscribe if you're that way inclined, you know, or your medication's not taken hold, and you can follow me on Instagram at #TheHomebrewJourney, amongst other hashtags, and I'll see you again soon. There's tons of other stuff coming up, and so why don't you go out and brew something for someone magnificent?